You've just bought a brand new brake setup for your vehicle, but you are curious about how to bleed the system correctly. For part 1 of this 2-part video series, we show you how to properly bench bleed your master cylinder before you install it in your vehicle. And in part 2, we follow the same step-by-step bleeding process for the entire brake system. You will need a secure table vise and a Phillips screwdriver to get your master cylinder ready to go. We prefer a Phillips screwdriver as to not leave any marks on the aluminum piston bore. Start the bench bleeding process by placing your master cylinder in the vise. Make sure it is level and secure in the vise. You can put a small rag or pad between the vise and the master cylinder to keep the clamp from scratching the body of the master cylinder. Do not install your master cylinder until you have fully bled it on the bench. Attach the plastic nozzles to each clear plastic hose. Clip the plastic hose to the center wall of the master cylinder and run the hose through the holes, making sure they are submerged in the reservoir fluid. When finished, there should be one hose in each bowl. Press the tapered end of each nozzle firmly into the master cylinder ports and twist to seat. Fill the reservoirs with brake fluid. Here we are using .3 brake fluid. Using full strokes, slowly push the piston in and release it once it is at the end of its stroke. A screwdriver works great to push on the end of the rod connecting to the master cylinder. Repeatedly push the rod in and out until no more bubbles are coming out of the hose ends. Do not push the rod quickly. Use a full stroking motion to slowly bleed all of the air bubbles out of the system. Fast strokes tend to aerate the fluid in the reservoir. Make sure the brake fluid stays up enough to fully submerge the hose ends. With the master cylinder still in the vise, remove the hoses from the reservoir and attach the master cylinder lid. Leave the nozzles in place and do not remove them from the ports. Tie off or plug the hose ends to avoid fluid leaking out, and avoid contacting painted surfaces with brake fluid because it can lead to paint removal. Now that all air bubbles are removed from the master cylinder, it is ready to be installed into your car. Install the master cylinder and connect your brake lines to their ports. Have someone get in the vehicle and push and hold the brake pedal. Before releasing the brake pedal, bleed the remaining air by loosening one brake line on the master cylinder, allowing any trapped air to escape. Tighten the brake lines firmly and repeat this step on both ports. Now you are ready to bleed the rest of your brake system. Watch part 2 of this video series where we walk you through bleeding your car's brakes step by step.